remember that we're finite. We're not going to be here forever. Life is very, very short. And not only is it short, but it's unpredictable. We don't know when we're going to pass on to whatever lies after this. I attended a funeral last week for a person that was working for the company that I work for and with. And the guy was with the company for 25 years, so he was kind of part of the fabric of the company. He died too young. And I'm at the funeral, and it was a really nice service. And it's just filled with obviously people from the community, and the family are there, of course. Um, and the service lasted typically like a typical funeral. It lasted about an hour. And me having been his manager, I go into this ceremony with the idea of this gentleman, basically what I know from working with him as an employee. And he was a good engineer. He was really kind. He was really helpful to everyone that needed a hand. And so I'm coming into this with a bias because I work with the guy. And one of the things I noticed was, yes, they mentioned the company briefly. There was some mention of the company he worked for. But all of the ceremony, most of it, the vast majority, was centered around his character, centered around who he was as a person, how kind he was, how helpful he was, how generous he was, his relationship to his family, his relationship to his animals, who he cared deeply for. And so really the ceremony, when you go to a funeral, they talk about your character. That's the main theme of a funeral, is to talk about your character, the impact that you left on other people. And so I guess it's just another way of thinking about this stoic idea of living a good life and what it means to live a good life. And the Stoics say you do your best to be a good person. When you die and people attend your funeral, they might mention where you worked, they might mention your strong work ethic, but really they're going to talk about your character and who you were as a person, and really the impact you have on other people. But then I got thinking afterwards on the drive home. I got thinking about how that ties in with what the Stoics also say in terms of you making an impact on the world. It's not uncommon to see posts around social media when they talk about maybe don't focus too much on your work, because when you die, people will be talking about not your work, but everything else. So your character and who you were and what you do for other people. And I think that's actually there's a bit of a logical flaw in that. And I'm going to point it out for you here. You see, what you do on your day-to-day life, what you do for work, the impact that you have on the world, that is your character. It's a direct representation of your character. So as you get up every morning, you go to work, you put a dent in the universe with people around you, with your coworkers, with team members, with your manager. You have integrity in what you do. You pay attention to excellence. You're trying to do what you can to the best of your ability because you want a high quality of workmanship, and you want to have a positive impact on the world by doing so. That is your character. Now, that doesn't mean that just because you get up and go to work every day that you have a good character, because although you might have, say, discipline, you can go to work and you can do terrible things. Look at Nazi Germany. They all went to work every day. No one would say that what they did was appropriate. But the point being is that if you want to have a good character, you have to develop that through working and really it's by working that you show your character. So no, people might not mention the company you worked for and the work that you did to a large degree, but they will mention your character, and your character is developed through those very things and shown to the world by those very things. So, yes, work is important. Of course it's important. How are we going to make the world a better place if we don't all get up and do our part for the world? As Marcus Aurelius says, are you brought here on this world to stay under the covers, or are you going to get up and do something with your life? You're going to get up and work and do what you have to do for the world, just like the ants do, just like the birds do, and the bees and everything else. Everything else, every other creature gets up and they do their duty. They don't stay in bed like so many of us do. And the other connection I want to make here is that it's one that we don't, again, it's not something that you mention when you're talking about someone at a funeral, but there's a direct connection between your ability to work and take care of yourself and your ability to help other people and to be a good person. If you don't go to work and do a good job and do what you have to do, if you don't fulfill your duty, you will not be in a position where you can, in this gentleman's case, have a family and support them and have animals and dogs that you love and can take care of. You are not in a position where you can be generous. And so, although at the end of the day we talk about people's character at their funeral, it's like the tip of the iceberg. And underneath that tip of the iceberg is this massive piece of mass that is filled with things like a positive work ethic, integrity in what you do at work, getting up every day, doing the hard things. It's not simply being nice to people, it's being kind to people, being generous to people. And you can only truly do that if you are competent as a person. Hey there. Let me thank you for being a listener to this ad-free podcast. If you enjoy the podcast, there are a few things you can do to help me out. A 5-star review on Spotify or wherever you're listening to this really does help, and it's free. You can also sign up for my Substack newsletter or Patreon. Substack free gets each episode emailed to you along with the transcripts in the form of an article. You'll also get access to my live talks, followed by a Q&A afterward. Substack Premium supporters and my patrons on Patreon get access to the recordings and a brief article of those Q&A sessions, access to full episodes of the Paradoxically Speaking podcast, my Steps to Success interview series, Stoic meditations, and much more. Links to Substack and Patreon can be found in the show notes. Now, a lot of times, what people remember, to play, I guess, another angle of this, when you're talking about people that pass away, people remember your interaction with them. People remember how you react to bad times when things go wrong, if you're relaxed or if you joke. People remember your disposition, your humanity. People remember your humanity. And it's just another notion that, yes, you have to go to work, and yes, you have to put a dent in the universe, but you also do have to just be kind and be a nice person. You can't only be that, but you can certainly be that. It's not this or that. It's all of it. It's everything. That is what virtue is. It's doing your duty, and it's also being kind to everyone you meet, trying to help other people out. In this gentleman's case, I've worked with this guy for 5 years, and he was all of these things. He was a great worker, he wasn't lazy, he had integrity in what he did, he was pro company, he was trying to make the world go round. He was trying to keep the boat running so it could work and generate money for the company. He was trying to help out the company for the success of the company and the team. If someone needed a hand with something, he would help them. He was calm. Calm that could only be developed through competence. Again, that connection between character and competence. How can you manage stressful and difficult situations if you've never been through them? You have to develop that, and you develop that through hardship, through work. And because he had all of this foundation of being a good worker and being able to provide for himself, being kind, he was able to expound that out into his community where he volunteered, where he was able to be a part of a productive family and a loving family, where he was able to adopt dogs, take care of them, groom them, help out his neighbor, building his fence, whatever it might be to help the community out. So this is a shout out to this gentleman who worked with this company for 25 years and made a positive impact on everyone he came across. And it's also just a stark reminder to that stoic idea, that very simple yet complicated stoic idea that the way to live your life is by doing what's appropriate. It's by going out into the world, working for the world to make the world a better place, being a part of a team, charging into battle with your comrades, your team members, helping people out when you can, where you're able, where you're competent, offering your competence to the world that you've developed over years of working. And it also means being a part of a community, a very important Stoic idea to be a part of a community. And that can be a work community, it can be the community you live in. It means helping out your neighbor, it means listening to people patiently. It means being generous with, yes, with the money that you've developed over time, but also with your time. Because as funerals and death constantly remind us, we only have so much time, and it's much less than we think. We think we have years and years and years and years and years. We might only have a day. So death, funerals, where we say goodbye to people, if you have the opportunity, if someone you know passes away, use that opportunity to say goodbye for them, for you, and also to make sure that you're practicing that meditation, that death meditation that Stoics remind you to take, which is remember that we're finite. We're not going to be here forever. Life is very, very short. And not only is it short, but it's unpredictable. We don't know when we're going to pass on to whatever lies after this. So have a look around in your community, the people you love, the people you care about, the people you work with. And maybe those are all the same people. Have a look, be grateful. Don't take anyone for granted. And most importantly, focus on what you can control as an individual, which is how do I show up to my job, to my workplace, to my team, to my community? How do I show up the best version of myself? How do I show up with competence, with integrity, with kindness, with love, with a disposition that will motivate others to do the same. And even though you won't be here to hear them or witness this, how do I act in such a way that when I pass on, I'll have people standing around my casket saying good things about me, genuinely good things. I have people that miss me, that care about me, not because I care about being missed, but because I've acted in such a way over my life to have that impact on other people.